Hey all, Flame here, and welcome to the final FlameHisWorld video of 2025. It's been a fairly quiet year in terms of my output, so this one may well be quite a bit shorter than previous year's videos. There's been a handful of reasons for that, with a lot of them being boring IRL reasons. I had some tech issues toward the start of the year that involved being without a PC for a few months on end, which was very annoying. I was trying to keep stuff going for FC playthroughs on my very old PC with busted RAM and a busted hard drive, and everything takes like 10 times longer than it should, so that was kind of frustrating. And then shortly after that, I was in the process of moving house, which also took a lot longer than it probably should have, and that was really annoying. Which, like, it's all dealt with now, but it did mean that I didn't really get back into the flow of things until about halfway through the year, maybe a bit after that actually. It was like late August. And so, yeah, it's kind of been a bit all over the place. But I'm not here to just trauma dump about shit that no one really has any reason to care about. I'm here to talk about my boring videos that no one has any reason to care about. So let's get into it. On FlameHisWorld, the FlameHisWorld playthrough this year was a Grand Prix run of Sonic Racing Crossworlds. This was a playthrough I played live. I played through all the currently available on disc, well, on download I guess, tracks, because I got it on Steam, but all the main game tracks that you get with it. And I think that playthrough came out alright actually. I do always get a little bit nervous when I'm doing stuff live while I'm playing the game, because I know sometimes if something happens in the game and it distracts me, sometimes I lose my train of thought and it becomes a bit of a mess commentary wise, but I feel like for racing games that kind of works out in its favour really. Like, you're kind of there for the chaos, and so yeah, I kind of ended up enjoying that playthrough. I enjoyed recording it and I think it mostly came out okay. I will be revisiting the game sometime in the new year once all the DLC tracks are out and the 2 DLC Grand Prix are complete. I'll be doing some bonus videos showing those off, so if you enjoyed the main playthrough you can look forward to those. If you didn't watch the playthrough, then you've got time to catch up with it, if you so desire, that is. But that was it for FlameHisWorld stuff. It was just the one playthrough. Like I said, been very busy, and FlameHisWorld, it's a channel I use for fun. It's a channel I focus on as and when I have free time to do bonus projects. So that's kind of why it unfortunately ends up being the lowest priority for me. I have my FC playthroughs channel, which is my job, and I have the collaborative stuff on HellfireComms, which is like, I always prioritise that a little bit more. Doing stuff with my friends is always that little bit more rewarding for me. But speaking of HellfireComms, I was part of 3 LPs on HFC this year. Those being Mario Kart World to start with. The Mario Kart World playthrough was a live playthrough that Tom was playing the game during. And that was a similar sort of structure to what I did for the Crossworlds playthrough on FlameHisWorld, in that we were just covering the Grand Prix of the game. It was a very kind of casual kind of approach to commentary, just sort of shooting the shit as we were going through the individual tracks. It was a pretty fun time, and I hope that that game does get some more tracks in DLC, because it's still got room to grow, and I feel like with a few more tracks and maybe a little bit of tweaking and polishing up and maybe some extra features, it could be absolute gold. So the playthrough was fun, but I want reasons to play more of it, you know? Up next was our playthrough of Pokemon Legends ZA. That was a playthrough, again, where Tom was playing and Spar and I were in the call. It just wrapped up at the time of recording this, because we've done the main game and we also covered the post-game. The main game of Pokemon Legends ZA is absolutely fantastic, and I feel like that shone through in our commentary. It's a very upbeat kind of commentary for something that was, you know, like, it's a fairly open RPG game, and usually they tend to be that bit more laid back, but this one in particular, I feel like there was a very good vibe through it. That's the kind of vibe I like from that kind of LP. And I hope that you guys enjoyed that one too. We will be covering the DLC at some point next year. As for when that's going to be, we're sort of playing it by ear. I'm not sure exactly how that playthrough is going to go. I will admit I'm a little bit nervous about that one, because while I absolutely adore the main game, I have a lot of hang-ups with the DLC, the Mega Dimension DLC. Honestly, I'm not sure how well it's going to lend itself to a playthrough. So again, we're going to be playing that by ear, see how it goes, and hopefully we can put together a good LP of it, regardless of my opinions on the game itself. But yeah, on the whole, I'm very happy with how Legends That Day came out. The final playthrough that we've done this year on HellfireComms, and my personal favourite, is our playthrough of Sonic Advance 3. This one was my baby. I recorded the footage for this. I went out of my way to get a good, clean, no damage rundown of the game. It's a proper post-commentary Sonic LP, which are always my favourites to cover. And yeah, well, I think we had a good time. I think that one was a very interesting one because for the longest time, Advance 3 has been one of those games that I've just sort of written off as like not a particularly great game, and it has a lot of problems. But over the course of recording the footage for it and trying out the different partner characters, I ended up kind of appreciating it in a way that I hadn't before, and that gave me more to talk about in the commentary. That commentary was myself, Tom and Richie, our usual Sonic lineup, and I feel like what I really like about the LPs that we do for especially 2D Sonic games is they feel relatively timeless. Like, if you showed that LP to someone and you said that we made it in like 2016, outside of the more topical conversations that came out, I think it'd be believable, and I think that's a good thing. I think that while everything else that we do kind of adapts and changes over time, the Sonic LPs sort of have this consistent vibe to them, and I've come to really like that. They're always the LPs I look forward to the most, and we have some more planned for next year. Not going to announce exactly what they are just yet, although I think we did in the final part, so maybe that's redundant, but alas. I'm very happy with how the Sonic Advance 3 LP came out. So overall this year, like I say, my productivity has not been anywhere near on the level that I would like it to be. I've managed to keep FC playthroughs ticking over well and good. Like, I've recorded 33 playthroughs for that channel this year to my account, which that's got some bigger runs. Like, I did a run of Persona 5 Royal, which I absolutely love that game. Maybe not as much as Persona 3, but I really like 5. So that was fun. I had some other pretty big, great RPGs on the channel as well. I just recently finished Final Fantasy VII on there, the original PS1 version. And I also have a playthrough of Pokemon White that I did on there this year. But that number is also somewhat inflated by the tons of shorter classic games that I've covered on the channel as well. So we've had stuff like Castle of Illusion. That one I did both the Mega Drive version and the 2013 remake. You get both flavours of that. There's been a couple of Sonic games like Sonic Labyrinth, a redone version of Sonic Advance where I got all the emeralds this time and showed it off properly. And also Bug for the Sega Saturn. That game is like peak mid. If that even makes sense, it's peak mid. It's like the most average game possible that isn't called Sonic Rivals. I sort of ended up appreciating that, even though it's not a game I would particularly recommend. But yeah, FC playthroughs I'm quite happy with how it's going. I did sort of step away from my comfort zone a bit by taking a break between the Pokemon playthroughs, but it's basically just what I enjoy doing. There's a bit of everything there. There's some racing games, there's some platformers, there's some RPGs, as I tend to do most years, and there'll be more of that to come next year. So if you're in the market for non-commentary gaming playthroughs, check out FC playthroughs. If not, I'm sorry I've rambled on about something you don't care about, but that's kind of what these videos are about anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to bring to the table this year. I hope that next year I'll be able to basically just do more of what I've been doing. This channel, FlameHisWorld, obviously I'm not in a position to promise consistency in terms of output, but when I am able to work on projects, I hope to produce some high quality ones that you guys can enjoy. I hope that we could do more cool runs over on HellfireComms, and I fully intend to keep FC playthroughs going as it's been going, and maybe get more different kinds of games on that channel as well, because I like to sort of step out of my comfort zone a little bit more each year with that channel and cover some different kinds of things. But from me, I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported me this year through any of the projects I've worked on. I really do appreciate it, especially since, like, as I say, my personal life's been a bit hectic this year. And I hope that everyone has a fantastic 2026. From me, the Flameclaw, I will see you next year. Bye bye for now.